certainly would charge extra for it. But being that it was a piano dealer, a good customer, this type of work is not even charged. It's all part of the bigger picture. So, in closing my presentation or my documentation of this instrument, I'm going to play a few chords to show for the record that the piano is in beautiful playing condition. Beautiful working order. The instrument has a very nice sonority, and later on in the day we're going to present Mr. Mihov, Mr. Rain, and Mr. Kritzman to follow up on the performance on this piano. Mr. Mihov is working for me, so his expertise may not be taken as completely independent. However, Mr. Rain and Mr. Kritzman are independent piano technicians whom I called to verify that the work on this piano is done up to the highest standard within all means possible for this type of work. Thank you. Okay, well, this is Dmitry Mihov. He's the production manager here at the New York Piano Center, and Dmitry is going to take over now.
Yes. I'd just like to start with explaining what my duties and my job here is. Not only with this particular piano, with every piano that arrives at the New York Piano Center. The first thing is, when the movers come, we take a very complete inventory, for which we have a piece of paper, used the same for every piano, and every part that belongs to, that is part of the piano, it's described what condition it arrived, whether it's there, it's missing. And in my paper here says that when the piano arrived on April the 28th, the back casters were missing. We point here. And the skirts, I'll point again here, on the legs, were non-existent. This part of the wood, being made so delicate and intricate, was just simply destroyed. And that is combined as a part of the order that we have to reconstruct and remake, carve these pieces. So, to continue with my duties, then I received from Mr. Holder a work order, and this is the work order for this particular piano, in which it describes what kind of work has to be done, and with new parts, with old parts, etc., etc. Then I take a work order card on which I transfer all the information, and that card accompanies the piano throughout the whole process of rebuilding. And I'm sure that Mr. Holder earlier today described what had to be done on the piano and how it was done. However, my input into this is that, to my knowledge, this piano belonged to Mr. Maximilian, and normally as soon as the piano arrives, I ask, shall we start, shall we put a rush on the piano, or shall we wait for a while? And Mr. Holder said, no, put it on the side, you have to wait for the decision what kind of work, and when actually the first deposit payment is made, then we start with the work. And so we put the piano on its side, which is normally storage, and waited for about 2.5 months, somewhere around end of June or first week in July of 1995, we proceeded with the work. the process took place that from the beginning, when we first started, to completion was about end of September, beginning of October, the piano was completed. In the meantime, I spoke with Mr. Maximilian. At that time, I always knew that the piano belongs to Maximilian. I spoke to him, and I pointed to him that being this kind of a rosewood piano, the body is made of solid rosewood. Certain parts are made of rosewood, and the top and the half top is made, the music desk are made of a what we call make-believe or fake rosewood veneer, which means it is hand painted lines of the grain of the wood on the, which probably it will be best demonstrated here, of the wood. My concern was that, and my order was to clean the piano, and it's polish the hardware of the piano. And I pointed out that the piano has a lot of imperfections on the veneer and a lot of deep scratches, and Maximilian said that we're not sure as yet what it has to be done, what we're going to do. But for the time being, when the time comes, just clean the piano, do your best, because we're going to proceed with French polishing, or we're going to strip and refinish the piano elsewhere, not here. There was never a question that we have to do this work in this shop. So we will go around the piano now. And while we were, okay, we see the inside work. Come in. The plate was the metal plate was re-bronzed. The soundboard was shimmed and re-varnished. A new decal was put. New dampers were installed. The original action parts were used. And I want you to pay attention here that this is what we call an open pin block. Sometimes the pin block is covered with a plate, but in this case it's an open pin block. So let's proceed slowly a little. So after the work was done, the last thing we did is to clean. With most of the old finishes, with the time, with the years, even though in the house they've been cleaned and polished, they deposit a considerable amount of, go with the piano, don't go that much with me. They deposit a lot of dirt, and my primary concern was if the veneer or the finish is going to be worked elsewhere, what we should do at least to clean the veneer, the old finish, to clean up from old dirt and dust and imperfections. I'm sorry, not imperfection, but deposited dust. There are a lot of imperfections. Can you come closer? Can you see? Such these deep scratches.